Mission Impossible 8 Dead Reckoning Part 2 is coming, and we've got the details on the cast, the team behind the film, and what to expect from the storyline that picks up right where Dead Reckoning left off. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to catch Ethan Hunt and his IMF team as they continue their world-saving quest, following the dramatic ending of 2023's Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. For the first time in the series, the 8th movie will be a direct sequel, so if you're a fan of Tom Cruise, high-octane stunts, and secret agents, you'll get to see how it all wraps up when the untitled film hits theaters next spring. Meanwhile, here's everything you need to know about Mission Impossible 8. Starting with the title, the upcoming film was supposed to be called Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, but that title has been dropped. Paramount Pictures announced this change in October 2023 and also mentioned that the movie's release date has been pushed back by a year. They didn't give a specific reason, but considering Dead Reckoning didn't do as well at the box office when it was released in July 2023, it's possible they're changing the title to avoid scaring off potential viewers by labeling it as a Part 2 to a movie that didn't get much traction. It's likely the new Mission Impossible movie will get a cool subtitle before it's released, as the last movie to be just numbered was Mission Impossible 3. What that subtitle will be remains to be seen. The 8th Mission Impossible movie was actually supposed to have been shot, edited, and released a while ago, with an original premiere date of August 2022. But thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic, both it and Dead Reckoning were pushed back. The movie was initially set for June 2024, but has now been postponed to May 23, 2025. The latest delay happened because of the SAG-AFTRA strike, which halted production in the summer of 2023. Filming picked up again in March 2024. As with all the other Mission Impossible films, this one will be hitting theaters exclusively. The runtime for the 8th Mission Impossible movie hasn't been announced yet because the film is still in the works. For comparison, Dead Reckoning was 163 minutes long, making it the longest film in the franchise by a large margin, as the other movies generally clock in around 130 minutes. Now, let's talk about who's making it and who's in it. Christopher McQuarrie, the director who elevated the Mission Impossible series with Rogue Nation, Fallout, and Dead Reckoning, is back for the 8th film. Just like with Dead Reckoning, McQuarrie is co-writing the script with Erik Jendresen. Tom Cruise will be back as IMF agent Ethan Hunt, a role he first took on in 1996 with the original Mission Impossible. At 62, this might be his final time playing the character after 30 years. And if you are wondering if Tom Cruise is still going to do his own stunts for it, then don't wonder. Because of course Tom Cruise, who famously rode a motorcycle off a cliff in Dead Reckoning, will be doing his own stunts for the sequel. He's known for going all out, so expect more jaw-dropping stunts from him. Several familiar faces will join him, including Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames as IMF agents Benji Dunn and Luther Stickle. Hayley Atwell returns as Grace, who got involved in the action and joined the IMF at the end of Dead Reckoning. Esai Morales is back as Gabriel, the main villain from the last film, working for the powerful AI known as the entity that threatens the world. Vanessa Kirby will reprise her role as black market dealer Alana Mitsopoulos, along with Frederick Schmidt as her brother Zola. Shea Whigham returns as Jasper Briggs, a U.S. intelligence agent who was chasing Ethan in the previous movie, with Greg Tarzan Davis as his partner Degas. Pom Klementieff is back as Paris, the assassin who switched sides after Ethan spared her life. Henry Czerny will also return as CIA Director Eugene Kittredge, who made a comeback in Dead Reckoning after his role in the first Mission Impossible. Mark Gatiss and Charles Parnell are set to return in their minor roles as the heads of the NSA and NRO. Mariela Garriga will play a woman who pops up in mysterious flashbacks linking Ethan and Gabriel. Hopefully, we'll finally get some answers on their connection. In a fun twist, Rolf Saxon, who last appeared as the unlucky CIA agent William Donlow, the guy who got sent to Alaska for letting Ethan break in during the first Mission Impossible, will be back in the mix. The new film will also bring fresh faces to the cast alongside familiar ones from Dead Reckoning. Nick Offerman from Parks and Rec will play Sidney, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Holt McCallany from The Iron Claw will be Bernstein, the Secretary of Defense, and Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso has a role that's still under wraps. Katie O'Brien, Janet McTeer, Lucy Tulugariuk, and Tramell Tillman are also joining the cast. As for the story, in Dead Reckoning, Ethan and his team were on a mission to find 2 high-tech keys that could control a powerful AI system called the Entity. This AI was so advanced that everyone, including the US, wanted control over it. To prevent it from getting into the wrong hands, Ethan went rogue, trying to destroy the AI instead. Ethan's quest to get the 2 keys to control the Entity leads him to cross paths with Grace, a skilled thief hired to steal the keys without fully understanding their power. Gabriel, who has some history with Ethan, is also after the keys and is working directly for the Entity. During a botched sale at a fancy Venice party hosted by black market dealer Alana Mitsopoulos, Ethan's ally and possible love interest, Ilse Faust, played by Rebecca Ferguson, is killed. To get the keys, Grace teams up with Ethan and pretends to be Alana on the Orient Express. Although their plan and the train itself go off the rails, Ethan manages to snag both keys from Gabriel, who escapes. Ethan, Benji, and Luther continue to operate outside the law, but Grace decides she wants to join the IMF officially. Meanwhile, Paris, an assassin who switched sides after Ethan saved her, reveals that the keys unlock the Entity's intelligence, which is stored inside a sunken Russian submarine called the Sevastopol. Ethan's next big challenge? Find the Sevastopol, get inside, and use the keys to destroy the Entity once and for all, if Gabriel or anyone else doesn't stop him. As for the next one, there isn't an official synopsis for the 8th Mission Impossible movie yet, but since it's the first direct sequel in the franchise, we can make some educated guesses about the plot. Ethan Hunt and his team will likely focus on taking down Gabriel and destroying the Entity for good. The final showdown will probably occur on the sunken Sevastopol, though finding its location will likely be a big part of the early story, since Ethan doesn't know where it is. We'll get more details about the plot once official images, trailers, and a synopsis are released. But the big question you should be wondering is, will there be more Mission Impossible movies after this? Dead Reckoning and the upcoming film were initially promoted as the grand finale for Ethan Hunt. It seemed like it might be Tom Cruise's farewell to the character, though the Mission Impossible franchise was likely to continue in some form. However, in June 2022, McQuarrie told Fandango that parts 1 and 2 are not the end of the series, and they already have ideas for what comes next. Cruise also hinted that he's open to continuing the Mission Impossible movies for years to come. This was before Dead Reckoning's box office performance came up short, but if the 8th film does well, don't be surprised if we see more of Ethan Hunt. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.